Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the UFC 259 prediction show. This is just a lighter weight class showcase, this card so far. I mean, the biggest fight we've talked about so far has been a welterweight bout. And we got the second flyweight fight in a row, if not the third flyweight fight in a row. No, yeah, it's the third flyweight fight in a row we're talking. No, it's the second of three. My bad. Anyways, second of three flyweight fights in a row. And we got Kai, don't blink, Kai Kara-France versus a Rogerio Bontorin in this one. And obviously, we know where Kai Kara-France trains out of. He is a city kickboxing fighter through and through. So it's kind of fair to assume that he's a good striker, right? Yes. And Kai Kara-France has had a very interesting UFC career because on the regional scene, this guy was finishing everybody. Yeah. He was like, this guy was a threat. Everyone saw this flyweight and was like, yo, this flyweight has power. Once he gets to the UFC, he's going to start knocking fools out left and right. Every single one of his fights, except for his last one in the UFC, has gone to a decision, and that is one he lost against Brandon Royval.
Yep.
It's been very interesting because he hasn't been able to finish anyone. And he's looked impressive in his fights. Maybe not so in the Brandon Royval fight. That fight was super fun for as long as it lasted. Like, he dropped him instantly, but then got dropped himself. He had a real close fight with Brandon Moreno, and, you know, he has wins over Raulian Paiva, Elias Garcia, Tyson Nam, and Mark De La Rosa. And in this fight against Bontorin, I do think that the biggest aspect of this fight will be his forward pressure, because Bontorin has shown kind of a susceptibility to heavy forward pressure fighters like Ray Borg in his last fight when he got absolutely destroyed. Ray Borg kind of pushed him up to the cage and just took him down. Repeat. Kai Kara-France is not exactly going to look for a takedown in this one. I think that if anyone's going to try and take down the other, it's going to be Rogerio Bontorin, but he does not have a very solid wrestling game. Now, he's very good at jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling is not good. He only averages 1.76 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 35% accuracy. And what worries me for Bontorin is his striking defense so far has shown to be just not good. Not good at all. And with someone like Kai Kara-France who throws with such volume, I mean, that's not like a crazy thing for the flyweight division to throw strikes at volume. He throws a lot of volume for a flyweight. And that's something that's very, very impressive. And also, he has incredible striking defense. I do not think Rogerio Bontorin can win this fight on the feet. He cannot. You're not going to beat this guy on the feet. How you're going to beat him is on the ground, because he is susceptible to subs, to getting wrestled. But his takedown defense so far in the UFC has been pretty good. The only person who has taken him down, he got taken down once by Mark De La Rosa and once by Elias Garcia. I guess it wasn't a takedown. It wasn't scored as a takedown for Royval, even though he did get the sub. So this fight is very interesting. We haven't seen Bontorin a lot in the UFC, and we haven't seen him for a while. But I just see Kai Kara-France being able to piece him up. I think that Bontorin is going to keep trying for the takedown. It's not going to work because he doesn't have the wrestling ability of the other opponents that Kai has fought before. So I just see that him piecing him up. And honestly, I'm going to say this is where Kai goes back to his finishing ways, because I want to see it. This is where Kai Kara-France starts to finish people again. So I think he's going to finish him late in the third.
Yeah. Okay, so I like Kai Kara-France. I remember seeing him on Tough. We were just talking about that earlier, and he knocked out that really tall guy, the guy who had like fucking huge height and reach on him. He just knocked him out. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, like Zach said, UFC wise hasn't really gotten too many. He hasn't gotten any finishes, but I think he's still a pretty solid fighter. I think he's a pretty solid fighter. That was a great fight against Royval. That was a really fun fight. And no shame in that. He was doing well in it. He just got caught in a sub. And losing to Brandon Moreno, zero shame in that. I mean, that dude just fucking took Figueiredo to was a majority draw. So,
shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been, but sure.
Yes. I thought it was a draw. I thought it was a draw. But anyways, yeah, no,
You're right. It shouldn't have been a draw. Brandon should be the new champion right now.
No,
4-1 Figueiredo till death. 4-1 Figgy till death.
I had it to Fig, and I think Fig. I think it was the right call. But anyways, I don't see. How do you say it again, Zach? Bordione?
No, Rogerio Bontorin.
Bontorin, sorry. Bontorin, yeah, I don't think he's that great of a wrestler. He did lose to Ray Borg his last fight.
Got
So,
dominated.
Yeah, badly. So I'm gonna go Kara France, and I could see a finish as well. I'm hoping to finish because we got a lot of decision picks so far. So I'm gonna go with France with a late TKO.
Look, I don't have a great deal to add on this one either, but I do think that it is worth mentioning. Of course, Brandon Royval is an incredibly gifted fighter, and he's the kind of guy that this doesn't necessarily apply to. But I think you've got to be at a different level of intensity. You've got to have a different level of desire to beat any of these guys coming over from New Zealand at the moment, because the sacrifice that anyone from New Zealand is making in leaving their country to come to America is, I think that people don't quite get exactly how dedicated these people have to be. They are leaving. If they've just left for their camp, if they've just left to do the fight at the bare minimum, they're leaving their families, they're leaving their friends, everything behind for almost a month of time. They can't see anyone. They are locked down. And I think that these people are like cage beasts. These guys coming from New Zealand. And I think that Kai Kara France is going to be no different. I think that you're right. I think we are going to see a finish here. I think it could be quick. I'm going to go for a first or second round Kai Kara France knockout of Rogerio Bontorin.
All right. So looks like we are a sweep across the board for Mr. Kai Kara France. We got the motivation for him to win, for just going back to New Zealand, for all the sacrifices that he has to make. And we are getting ever closer to that incredible main card, and we have some great fights remaining on the prelims to talk about. So make sure you watch the rest of these pick videos, and we will see you in the next one.